And we're back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rollsicle. I'm one of the hosts here at the channel, and I am kind of joined by my lovely co-host, who's off to the side. You guys can't see her, but
Hi,
she's
everyone.
there you go. You can hear her. She's Ashley. I'm Nathaniel. We're a couple of nerds here sharing our hobbies on YouTube, and we are back with another Magic video. Today, we are talking a little bit about something that's been bothering us, which is the price of one of our favorite hobbies. So if you guys haven't caught some of the more recent videos on the channel, we've been talking about some of the decisions that Magic has been making lately. And one of them over the last couple years has been just a massively steady price hike, right? So for those of you that don't know, Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast is the creator of Magic. So Hasbro has been trying to, increase their bottom line and have profitable years in a market where a lot of their companies are going negative, and one of the few companies that isn't is Wizards of the Coast with Magic and D&D. And of course, Wizards of the Coast makes a lot more money off of Magic than they do D&D. So one of the things I wanted to pull up here was just a couple of the most popular-ish sets in the last couple of years and just say, look at the price that we're paying for these things either in post-release, not too far post-release when we get to Bloomburrow, and then upcoming prices for Spider-Man, which of course many of you might say, well, that's an artificially enhanced price, but Spider-Man is a standard set. It's a Universes Beyond set, yes, but that's half the sets going forward. We have to reach a point where if Wizards of the Coast is going to release half the sets as Universes Beyond, we have to just start thinking that's a normal part of Magic. That is a regular Magic set. It's just not set in the Magic universe. So this should be a pretty quick one. If you guys haven't subscribed or liked the video or any of that, I will take a moment here to say please do. We're on the crunch to 200 subscribers, so thank you guys for being so awesome and joining the Rollsicle family. I know that all the negativity isn't necessarily something we love to promote here on the channel, but I'm going to try to just discuss this with being as little negative as I can and just kind of more critical. So I wanted to look here at Ixalan first. Okay, this is a set that came out, I want to say now it's almost 3 years. It's about 2.5 years old at this point, right? So this came out just before I was getting back into, or right when I was getting back into Magic, right? This one ended up being pretty popular, but I wouldn't say there's a ton of chase cards in the set. There are a few, and one of them at the time was Mana Crypt, but that, of course, has been banned and went through that whole situation. Okay, but I wanted to take a look here at some of the prices. So we know that bundles are supposed to be MSRPing around $50, right? That's what they're supposed to be selling for. Well, if you want to get one of an older set that happens to have some popularity to it, you're not going to be paying $50, $91.30, right? And if we go down here, I'm not meaning to click these. Thank you, TCG player, right? It doesn't get a whole lot better when you're looking at getting a bundle case of them, right? I don't know how many comes in a case. I can't really see that, right? Oh, 6 of them? Okay, well, I guess that's actually really close to $50 a bundle, but still, that's pretty expensive, okay? Then we move on to collector boosters. I was actually just talking to Ashley a few weeks ago when I said, hey, look, I think at their regular price, I understand why collector boosters exist, right? If you're paying $250 to $300, or I should say $240-ish, hopefully, for the box of collector boosters, I kind of understand because each collector booster pack's giving you multiple rares. If you're really just opening packs for the sake of opening them and hoping to hit certain chase rares and you can get cooler versions of them and the versions you get might be worth more, I understand why they exist. But the problem is I understand why they exist at their regular price. Things are getting price gouged out the wazoo. And mind you, I very intentionally didn't even pull up Final Fantasy because I'm hoping that set is kind of an outlier. But we'll see when we get to Spider-Man. I don't think it's going to be. So when we move forward here, we can see the collector booster displays, aka the collector booster box, is going for $506. I understand there's some chase cards in this set, but $506 is ridiculous, okay? As we continue going down here, we can see some of the other stuff that they're offering. Okay, draft booster packs are about the price of a draft booster pack. That's good, right? And a draft booster display is still staying roughly around the price that a draft booster display should be. So you're not priced out of playing Ixalan in any sort of way, but you are priced out of anything that might have the chance of collecting some of these collector cards because they're priced so high. And what they're doing is they're making chase cards that are extremely high. and 99.9% of the time you're not going to open any of those, but then the price of 99.9% of the packs are still in accordance to those chase cards. So you end up not spending, or you end up spending way more money at the chance of pulling something crazy. It's just gambling, right? And I don't love that. I want to be able to open cool art. I want to be able to collect cards. We have, you guys can't see it, but we have a wall over there where we literally just have art cards hanging because we love this game. We think the art's great. I didn't make, but Ashley made frames that are in my classroom of Magic art cards. I love this game and I want to display it and I want cool cards, but this is ridiculous. And you can see it just stays bad pretty much all the way down. Again, draft boosters and set boosters are actually around the right price. Well, maybe it gets better if we go forward about a year, right? So let's go Bloomburrow. This came out just under a year ago. Well, Bloomburrow bundle, $95. Jesus Christ, right? Bloomburrow collector booster display. Okay, so a box of collector boosters, $701 for a collector booster box.
What?
For Bloomburrow. 701. Why is this? Because they have an increased chance of the special guest cards, and that's where you can get cards that aren't in the set, like your Swords of Ice and Fire that you probably didn't know was in there. Those aren't cards that are in the Bloomburrow set, but because they can be pulled in collector booster displays, here's what you might know, right? That Liliana, there's like a squirrel version of that's in Bloomburrow. Okay. It's a commander card in Bloomburrow, but it's not from any of the commander decks. It's exclusively in the commander slot that you can pull in a collector booster display. So there are animalified versions of certain planeswalkers or good cards that you can only pull from these collector boosters. So because of that, they're priced out the wazoo. Are you likely to pull them? Absolutely not. I'm literally sitting here as somebody who has opened one Bloomburrow collector booster. Shout out to my friend Emily at the time who bought it for me for my birthday, okay? And I happened to open the Japanese style of Phineas H. Archer. It is currently, correct me if I'm wrong, our most valuable card because it's priced at $115, right? I don't necessarily feel good about that, though. I would rather cards like that not exist or not be at that price point so that people could buy collector boosters knowing that they actually can buy them at what would be a decent price. $50 for a collector booster? No. I don't know what this Omega pack is. I don't know what that is then. $70 right here for a collector booster is insane. And the reason that you're paying $70 is because you have a few cards that'll get you more money than that. But 99% of the time, you're not opening those. It's extremely infuriating. Now, there are other types of things here. Now, we'll see the same trend kind of continues where we see that play booster packs are actually around the right price, right? And they don't have set boosters and stuff like that because that didn't exist, right? But at this point. Now, Play Booster Display, $130. Okay, I don't love Play Boosters, so we could talk about that in a separate video, right? But you're not locked out of playing this set, but you are locked out of most of the products because it's essentially, the best way I can describe it is that every set now comes out as the playable set and the gambling set, right? Is basically what's happening every single set that we get. And now you can see that that goes even further when we have an interest that is beyond the Magic universe when you look at something like Spider-Man. Okay, Spider-Man, $186 for a display. Okay, that's honestly, I think that's going to creep up when the set comes out, but right now they've spoiled some relatively weak cards, and realistically that price isn't insane. When we come down here though, we can immediately see pre-order prices for the collector booster boxes are coming in at $900. $900. All right, and this stupid place, no offense, Punk Outer, right? But they're charging you $15 shipping, even if you pay $9.50 for this stupid thing. That's ridiculous. At least throw in the free shipping, right? This is crazy. And the thing is that people are going to buy these. And the reason that they're going to buy this at $800, right? I can't highlight it. But the reason that they're going to buy this at $800 or $900 is because Final Fantasy went up to $1,400. So they're going to pre-order this at $900, $950 because they want to hope that they get it for 2/3 of the price that it's going to end up being when the set comes out. The MSRP for collector boosters is supposed to be $250 to $350. Maybe you can make an argument for $400 with Universes Beyond and them having to, essentially what they're doing is they're having to pay licensing fees and they're offing that to the consumer, right? So we're paying the fact that we're having to license Spider-Man. But no one can make an argument for $950, okay? When we scroll down here, bundles are already in the hundreds. Look at this. Pre-release packs are coming in at $85 for a pre-release. If Ashley and I wanted to go to a pre-release and they're charging $85 for the pre-release, assuming that they offer rewards at the pre-release, it might be $100 a person. Now, Final Fantasy didn't even charge this much for pre-release. You know why they're charging this much? Because we're post-Final Fantasy. They saw how high the prices went. So now local game stores and online game stores are expecting that, and consumers are willing to pay it because they're going, $90. Oh my God, I need to buy it at $90 because it's going to be $200 next week. No, you need to not buy it at $90 and say, I'm not paying more than $45 for a pre-release pack. I don't give a crap whether it's Spider-Man or not. You know, I mean, I'm the first person that's going to tell you I like Spider-Man more than 85% of the people that are going to be buying these cards. Probably 95%. I'm lowballing there. I'm not going...
Literally got 2 Spider-Man plushies next to him.
I've got 2 Spider-Man plushies next to me. I live with a Spider-Man water bottle. I put up a Spider-Man poster in my school classroom. I wear Spider-Man socks 4 out of 5 days a week to school. I adore Spider-Man. It's my favorite superhero, and it's not even close, right? And I'm not going to pay $90, okay? We don't have it pulled up here, but I saw today that a listing for the collector booster box for Avatar, which comes after this, pretty solid show, right? Also at $900, same reasoning. Final Fantasy hit $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 very quickly, and people are trying to get ahead of that and say, well, let's charge cheaper than that, but still way more than we're having to pay for this. And this is where we run into issues like the Commander decks that we talked about in a recent video, where I don't love the reinforcement bundle, but I can't tell a consumer not to buy it because it's the only dang place on earth that you can buy those bundles at the MSRP they're supposed to be. People are charging insane amounts for this, and the more insane people are the ones that are paying it. Mm-hmm. All right, so we don't have a ton of time because I wanted this to be a relatively quick video, but I just wanted to summarize and say, look, you can't tell me you love a set or a set theme more than I love Spider-Man. You can make the argument, but you can't prove it, right? And I'm sitting here saying you that it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I don't care how many Final Fantasy games you've played. It's not worth it to pay $1,500 for a collector booster box. I don't care how many Spider-Man movies and what it did for you as a child, because I'm right there in that bunch. I'm not paying $1,000 for this collector booster box. We were looking into Commander Master set boosters because we do crack-a-packs here on the channel. We might wanted to buy some more. And right now they're sitting between $400 and $450 for that box. This game is becoming a casino. And it's not worth it. I want to play the game, and I don't want to buy into the casino. And what we're seeing happen to old sets is that you can play the game, but right there with it is the casino. And now what we're seeing with new sets is that the game itself is now being influenced by the casino. And why is that? Because now we have play boosters, so those casino cards have their tiny itty-bitty little chance to be in play boosters. Now we're including certain, bonus sheets and stuff like that in the play boosters. So what was separate, right? Separate, I don't have to pay, let's look at Bloomburrow here. I don't have to pay $700 for a Bloomburrow collector booster box, and I never will. I would love to be able to get a collector booster box of Bloomburrow. I think it's a wonderful set. I think it's really wonderful art. I will never pay $700 for it. I won't even pay half of that. And I think you agree.
Yeah.
Okay, but right down here, I'm paying about the right price. I think it should be closer to $4, right? But that's an argument for another time. I'm paying about the right price for an actual pack. I'm paying about the right price for a booster box display. And mind you, this is before they dropped it to $30, so that's the right price. That's a whole nother argument. But now, and you could go to a pre-release for, what was it, probably $35 for a pre-release for Bloomburrow.
The first one we ever went to, I think, was $35.
Yeah, exactly, and that was after Bloomburrow. So I imagine it was going to be $35, right? And now, here we are. I want to just play the regular set, and I might be paying as much as 200% more. 200% more, because they're taking chase cards, chase arts, chase anything that you're gambling for this high interest money. I don't want to gamble. I want to play Magic the Gathering. Okay? So stop introducing these prices. Stop paying them when game stores try to let these prices be so high. Stop giving into FOMO. I understand that it's standard legal. I understand that but buy the singles that you need and wait until those singles are the price that you're willing to pay for them. Be willing to proxy the cards. Fight back against anyone who tells you that proxying is not okay if you're playing Commander. Like, suck it up, Buttercup. We don't all spend our entire wage on Magic. And just fight this, because I, as much as the next person, want to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on Spider-Man because I love it so much and I want to support it and I want to have all the cards and I want to see all the cool art and I want to see how they play together, and I'm trying to make the mature decision here. I'm trying to vote with my wallet and even vote with our YouTube channel and say, don't pay these prices. If our local game store comes out and says it's going to be $90 to do a pre-release, we are not going to go. I think. Unless you change your mind on that.
Wait,
but
for Spider-Man or for...
For Spider-Man, $90 per person. That would be per person.
No.
Right? That's what these things are going for.
I'm already a little iffy about how much we're going to actually spend on it, depending on what our local game store does.
Per person. That's what these things are going for right now. Now, I understand that these prices, you could say, well, these are artificially high because the set's not out yet. And I'm like, no.
It ain't going to drop.
People are going to pay this, so the prices aren't going to drop. So stop being those people. And please fight for Magic to be a game that people can play again and they aren't priced out of. I fell in love with Magic most recently when I had a decent amount of disposable income in college. And when I say decent amount, I mean, probably less than the average adult has, but it's still way more than the average child has. But I first got introduced to it and loved the game and wish I had played it ever since. Obviously, I can't go back and save that time. When I was 11, an 11-year-old will never be able to pay these prices. And they will be priced out of the game. They will not have a choice but to just not play Magic, essentially. And that is disgusting, in my opinion. I don't care how much money Hasbro wants to make. I don't care how profitable it is. This is supposed to be a game for people to share and to love and to enjoy. And I understand they need to make money, but this is completely unnecessary. And it's incredibly frustrating because I had the honor of getting to fall in love with this game at 11, then of course chose not to really follow up on it. But other people aren't going to have that opportunity. They're not going to be able to save up their $5 a couple weeks in a row and actually enter into a pre-release as long as they knew a couple months ahead of time that they're going to have to save up $100 beforehand just to get absolutely steamrolled and go, well, maybe I should play a different format, and then realize in order to buy that format, they have to spend $800. And they're going to go, this isn't for me. I mean, I teach middle schoolers. I see middle schoolers. They're never going to pay this type of price. They're going to immediately turn around and go, well, Fortnite and Roblox are free. And sure, they're dropping $20-$30 on their Robux or V-Bucks. Is that Fortnite V-Bucks? V-Bucks. Right? But the thing is that they're getting something that they know they can always turn back to going free to play, and you can't do that. in these formats. So, all right, this went longer than I wanted it to. It ended up becoming a little bit ranty, but again, I don't love the fact that these collector boosters from previous sets are so high. Again, I will never be able to get behind that. I think collector boosters were at the right price, around $240, $250, maybe $300, because you can get really cool art for those wanting to collect it. As a child at 11 years old, you don't need a collector booster. That's not the part of the game you should be buying into. But now the regular game is now getting priced out for those kids, and even I shouldn't even just say kids, right? It's priced out for the person that's having to work 2 jobs just to be able to afford for them and their family to live, and they only get a little bit of money they can spend on their hobbies. They deserve to play Magic too, and they're being priced out. Okay, rant's over. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I know a lot of you guys that watch these are passionate about the prices of Magic, and you might not necessarily agree with us. I understand that we have our own opinions and that sort of thing, but generally speaking, I think every Magic consumer can sit in a room and agree these prices are outrageous. The problem is 90% of them are still paying it. So let us know what you think down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Keep being awesome. Like the video, all that wonderful stuff. We enjoy having you guys here at the WoTC family. That's all we've got for you in this one, but there's other videos to come. Hopefully, we can continue being more positive. I'm considering making a video just about how much I love Edge of Eternities, because it's a set I wasn't excited for, and it massively surprised both of us, I think, in a good way.
I was more excited for it than you were.
I would say it still surprised you, but
it is better than I thought it was going to be.
Exactly. So we might be making that way we can have something on a little bit of a positive note. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Let us know what you think in the comments below. That's all we've got for you. So we will see you guys in the next one. Until then, may those rolls be ever in your favor. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye.
Bye, y'all.